All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this particular story is going to be hilarious because you guys know that I have documented this particular fall pretty well, I would say. I documented what happened with the actual developer, the main guy. I forgot his name already, to be honest with you, but he had a meltdown twice on video claiming that this is not about DEI. He's not a DEI hire, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And he actually said in his last video that he is getting not only overwhelming support, but that the boycott, the supposed boycott against Tales of Kenzera Zau, actually didn't do anything to the game and that they were majorly successful, that it didn't do anything to stop them. Well, apparently this particular developer that said they were major successful and that the boycott against Sweet Baby Inc. didn't work is apparently now firing people and laying them off.
Murder. It was murder in there.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the hilarity of the situation is astounding because it goes to show that they are constantly lying through their face to try to save their face in the public eye, to try to make it seem as if they're more successful than they actually are, to try to make it seem as if, oh yeah, your little boycott you gamers are doing are nothing because you guys are just minuscule in the grand scheme of things. We have so much support, it would blow your mind. Well, apparently you had so little support that it blew your pockets. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it has a headline that says, Sweet Baby Inc. influenced Tales of Kenzera Zau. Developer begins laying off employees despite previously claiming that the boycott did not crush the game. Yes, I remember him specifically saying that in his video, on his second video, I believe. Surgeon Studios, the video game development company that developed Tales of Kenzera Zau with the help of consultancy Sweet Baby Inc., is now laying off employees. As initially reported by Minimal Effort, numerous Surgeon Studios employees announced that they have been laid off on LinkedIn. Joe Philpott, a 3D environment artist, posted, "Unfortunately, I have been affected by the layoffs at Surgeon Studios. If you or anyone you know is looking for a 3D artist or a 3D environment artist with 3 years of experience in multiple ship projects in games and VR, I would love to talk more." Now, listen, I'm never, I would never feel okay with people losing their jobs, right? Unless it's listener content, then I don't give a fuck. I'm just being honest with you. I gotta be real. But I just, it sucks when people lose their jobs. However, this is the dice that you play, right? This is the game that you play when you want to partner with companies that are inherently against gamers. And I don't really give a shit if anybody has a problem with that statement, because that is true. Sweet Baby Inc. and DEI consultancy firms are against gamers. They do not want to make or help create video games that gamers want to play. They just have one job, and their job is to maintain their pockets by pushing certain levels of DEI and ESG in order to continue to get their funding governmentally and also to just make money off of it. That's just the truth of it. They essentially create problems so that they can provide the solution, right? That's what politicians do. They create fake problems to provide fake solutions. And this is what DEI consultancy companies do as well in gaming. They have been ruining gaming since their inception. There is not one particular consultancy firm that I can remember that worked on any particular game that was actually majorly successful, right? Aside from perhaps maybe Spider-Man and God of War. But even those games, if you want to look at their initial versions, sold like 1/3 or half of what their initial versions did. So you got to imagine that the DEI consultancy firms probably had a little bit to do with it. Even if it's minuscule, you can't ignore the effect of them. It says Jordan Smee, a former technical artist at Surgeon Studios, also wrote, "Well, it looks like I'm joining all the people affected by interesting layoffs this year, and I'm now seeking technical art and environment art positions. If anyone in my network is aware of any openings or can offer any guidance or help in getting me to my next steps, I would sincerely appreciate it." He added, looking to start ASAP or close to that as possible. Pete Burnsborn, a former level designer at Surgeon Studios, posted, "Hello. The chapter entitled Pete Works at Surgeon Studios is coming to a close at the end of the month." He added, "If you're looking for a remote level content designer with technical Unreal and Unity experience who is quick to learn and whose favorite ice cream flavor is pineapple, then drop me a message. Thanks." Oh, that was cringe. I mean, listen. Again, they're going to cope and cope and cope. It is what it is, man. And I would love to know what the person who's the head of this studio, or the person who was the head developer that was making all of these videos, what's his Abubakar? I think his name is Abubakar or something like that. I would love to know what he thinks. Yeah, here we go. Abubakar Salim. This is the person who put out this message, who is essentially complaining about people boycotting the game for Sweet Baby Inc. Listen, we said that you were going to lose money. We said that you were going to be heavily affected by all of this stuff. We knew this was going to happen, and yet you tried to make it seem as if the boycott was not going to affect you in the slightest. You wanted to make it seem as if gamers had no effect on the overall, way that you make money. And the fact of the matter is that we line your pockets. I keep telling these people, we line your pockets, not the wokies, not the crazy, hardcore activist leftism, whatever. We line your pockets. Right? Whether we stand on the left, center, or right, it doesn't matter. Real gamers are the ones that would have gave you money. The wokies are not going to give you money. And then you try to fake your sales, right? You try to fake your playership number by putting your game on essentially almost every single Game Pass available. You were free on PlayStation. You were free on actual Game Pass. You were free on, I think, on Epic Games as well, or EA Store, one of the two. You were free on a lot of different places, and that's why your numbers were as high as they were. And even your concurrent player on Steam, I think, was like the highest it ever hit was like 250 or something like that. That's the highest it ever hit. Even the wokies weren't playing your game. And you know what's funny? I was talking to people on Twitter about this particular game. They were shilling for this game, right? And I would ask them, I was like, hey, man, I'm very curious about gameplay. Can you post like screenshots or a video clip just really quick of you playing the game? I don't know if you're able to. And some people be like, yeah, I'm totally able to. And I was like, all right, cool. So can you post a screenshot or a video clip of you playing the game? I just want to see some gameplay. And they would be like, well, I haven't actually played the game yet, but I haven't installed it. But, I bought it to support it. I was like, oh, you bought it? That's cool, but you're not going to play it? And they were like, yeah, no, I'm going to play it at some point. I just bought it. I just haven't played it yet. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And you could tell that they are completely lying to their fucking teeth, man. All these people who were shilling for this game, everybody on Twitter who was supposedly talking about playing it and supporting it and whatnot, I saw, and I shit you not, I saw thousands more throughout this entire debacle, comments, Twitter posts, and everything about how amazing this game is, about how they were playing it. And then yet, to be honest with you, there was only 200 something at the maximum for the first day of release. Tales of Kenzera Zau on Steam. There was only 200 something players, and then it eventually fell to like 30 or 40. So there's thousands of comments on Twitter, but there's only like a couple of players playing on Steam, one of the biggest platforms, right? So you got to imagine EA is probably not that high. All the other Game Pass is probably not that high. I just don't see where people were playing this game. And if they played this game, they didn't pay for it. And that's the biggest point. What's the point that I'm trying to make? Even if they were playing the game, they only played it because it was free for them. It was on Game Pass. That's it. That's the only reason they were playing it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have paid money for your game. And that's the ultimate discussion that has to be had here. Stop using SBI or companies like SBI to push nonsense, right? When ultimately the people that you push nonsense to are not going to support you financially. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.